We are streaming across India. We have roughly around 200 people who have registered for this session. And evolution of comedy एक ऐसी चीज है जो I think everyone is very interested and keen to hear about what's exactly happening. See what with Netflix, Amazon Prime, Z5, etc. A lot of these uh, web things coming out, people's source of entertainment has suddenly shifted. એટલે I think this is something which you would like to understand. कि केवी रीते things have changed.
Yeah, for sure. I'll definitely get into all of it. I have a few pointers which I will go through. So how we are going to do it is that initially I'll be talking about what all things I have in mind, and then after a point we'll open the forum for everybody to ask any questions if they have any related to comedy or related to if anybody has any grievances or anybody wants therapy, I'm readily available.
Awesome, awesome.
Okay, so we have about 16 people right now.
Yeah, not people now. Shall soon be joined by a couple of more.
Yeah, so I think around 6 o'clock everybody will start coming in.
Yeah, so approximately from 6 to 6:10 is when people will start logging in.
Oh, okay.
We start at 6, then we gradually proceed. So as you said, format we'll keep it like this: that you start off by sharing your interesting anecdotes, and gradually, as the thing moves on, we can entertain questions from the audience. Then
Hmm.
Ashish Bhai will help us a lot in sorting the questions.
Hmm. Sounds good to me.
Perfect, perfect. So technically, we are just a chapter. So Indian Institute of Management Ahmedabad Association, there's an alumni association, and we are the Vadodara chapter. But this is
Okay.
linked with all the IIMs. So I am from IIM Calcutta. So I am a part of IIM Ahmedabad because I am in Baroda. The Ahmedabad is closer to us that ways, and so that ways we are aligned. So it's not just IIM Ahmedabad, Pan India, whichever IIMs you have done your courses from, you get aligned to this body.
That's great.
So
Super.
yeah, we have struck 6. I think it's time. Without much further ado, we'll start off. Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, ladies. Thank you for joining us in this interesting session, which is evolution of comedy. We have with us Mr. Manan Desai. Manan Desai, sir, is approximately, as he said, 13 plus years experience in this entire industry. He's a very famous name in the comedy circuit. He started something known as the Comedy Factory back in 2011. Apparently, because his wife married to his sense of humor, that's what he says. He has this experience of working for 7 plus years as an RJ with Radio Mirchi, My FM, etc. But he's a performer, he's a stand-up comedian, and he's carved a niche, in fact, for himself in the industry. To speak a bit about comedy, evolution of comedy. Comedy started off with something like jokes, strip jokes, plays, etc. And gradually it came to something like a stand-up comedy. We can trace stand-up comedy to people like Bob Hope and Bernard Manning, who were like used to entertain troops during wars. And gradually today, stand-up comedy is something which everyone associates with entertainment. इतना ज्यादा webinars, sorry, webisodes, इतने सारे web channels आ चुके हैं that we see a lot of the comics getting onto stage and sharing their knowledge. And today, we are lucky to have Mr. Manan Desai with us. So, without much ado or hogging too much limelight, I shall pass the banner to Mananji, off to you. Thank you for joining us, and I hope this is going to be an entertaining session. Before I hand it over, just a thing to the audience. If at all you have any queries, use the chat box. You can interact with Mananji directly, but try to do it via the chat box. Me and Ashish, both of us will help you through that. Off to Mananji.
All right, thank you so very much, Sheetal sir, and everybody who has joined in. Everybody, thank you so very much for having me. This is a very nice forum for me to share whatever little knowledge I have about comedy, and comedy is my way of life. It is therapy for me. You can trust me for eating, sleeping, and repeating comedy in my general life. So today, during this entire session, what I will try to speak about is there are a lot of myths, there are a lot of misconceptions about comedy and how the entire process of stand-up comedy works, how people, are watching comedy as an audience, how comedians tend to write jokes, and a lot of other things. And towards the end of this session, definitely it'll be open for all to, for question and answers. So yes, I mean, as Sir also said, I would like to just add a few bits that I started comedy for the first time in August 2011, and in my initial shows, Bhavik Sir and a lot of people from this particular group have been my audience. मतलब आप ऐसा बोल सकते हो कि जब मेरी नेट प्रैक्टिस चल रही थी तब से काफी सारे लोग इस चैट में जो जुड़े हैं वो मुझे देख रहे थे. And it's a very difficult profession. Every profession has its pros and cons. What people think of comedy earlier and what it has come to has really changed. पहले हम comedy देखते थे, stand-up comedy देखते थे, तो the first, I think, the pioneer, the person who started stand-up comedy in India is Johnny Lever sir. Johnny Lever sir, he has been a mentor. I've met him a few times. And what he talks about the comedy is how I live that comedy, उन्होंने बहुत एक अच्छी बात बोली है कि मदारी कैसे अपनी ऑडियंस को कैप्चर करता है. He used to go on the streets and watch shows of madaris कि मदारी अपनी ऑडियंस का अटेंशन कैसे ग्रैब करता है जब वो अपनी अलग अलग ट्रिक्स वो करता है बंदर के साथ, अलग अलग ट्रिक्स अपनी रोप के साथ वो ट्रिक करता है. तो हाउ ही ग्रैब्स द अटेंशन ऑफ द ऑडियंस इज व्हाट stage stand-up comedy is all about. And those are one of the few lessons that have been taught to me by my mentors. How stand-up comedy is there in my life. It's a very personal reason, but in 2005 when I was, my father passed away. I was just 17 back then. And we used to watch the Great Indian Laughter Challenge. That's how India was introduced on a mass level to the idea of stand-up comedy. Jisme Sumil Pal was there, Raju Srivastava was there, and a lot of other comedians were there who have entertained us back in 2005. So वो show मेरे लिए एक तरह का therapy था. And when I used to watch that show during my low time, during a very down time in my personal life, it really gave me a lot of positivity and hope. And later on, जब torrent और ये सब शुरू हुआ था, जब हम इंटरनेट पे बैठ के चीजें डाउनलोड करने की शुरू की थी back in 2006-07, तभी I downloaded something called Russell Peters का एक स्पेशल है कॉमेडी सेंट्रल का जो 45 मिनट्स का था. I don't know how many of you have seen it. उसमें उसकी फेवरेट एक जोक थी, somebody got get hurt real bad. So वहां से my journey of stand-up comedy started. So more or less जो India as a whole today comedy consume कर रहा है, वहां से मेरी भी जर्नी की शुरुआत हुई है रिगार्डिंग स्टैंड-अप कॉमेडी. और जैसे जैसे मैं ज्यादा कंज्यूम करता गया कॉमेडी के बारे में, I realized that there is so much of comedy out there. The challenges that artists face is that typical challenge जो parents को मनाना होता है. So my mom was always under the impression कि ये कुछ करेगा नहीं अपनी जिंदगी में. But I channelized my brat behavior into a very useful way because जो भी मैं नौटंकी करता था, whatever I used to do as a child, घर से भाग जाता था या मस्ती करता रहता था, पढ़ाई में ध्यान नहीं रहती थी, and all of that, I channelized all of those energies in a very positive manner, and that's how I got into the comedy field overall. So what I realized over a period of time कि जैसे जैसे इंटरनेट का एक्सपोजर बढ़ता गया है, वैसे वैसे लोगों का ऑफेंस लेना ज्यादा बढ़ गया है. पहले तो क्या था, कोई कुछ भी बोल के जाता था तो पीपल वर ओके विथ इट. पीपल से कई बार मुझे बोलते हैं कि कपिल शर्मा जैसी कॉमेडी करो या जॉनी लीवर सर जैसी कॉमेडी करो. बट दीज पीपल डोंट रियलाइज दैट इवन कपिल शर्मा के ऊपर केसेस हुए, इवन जॉनी लीवर सर के ऊपर केसेस हुए, इवन दो दे आर डूइंग क्लीन कॉमेडी. Obviously, after a point of time, जब हमने देखा था टीवी पे ग्रेट इंडियन लाफ्टर चैलेंज और ये सारी चीजें, उसके बाद एक इंटरनेट का दौर आया in the year 2011-12 when we saw a lot of internet comedy getting popular, जिसमें you have AIB है, या तो फिर there is Kunal Kamra, Vipul Goyal, Abhishek Upmanyu, Zakir Khan, Veer Das. These are few big names in the comedy circuit in comedy today. सारे लोगों का birth more or less during the new wave of stand-up comedy हुआ था. When the YouTube wave of stand-up comedy started happening, all of us are very new. We are learning from our mistakes. Matlab, I personally feel what I think about comedy is that comedy is the most selfish art form because people give their own opinions. People have a very personal point of view about the comedy that they do. So, ओवरऑल मेरे हिसाब से वो चीज बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है. और हमारे फील्ड में इंस्टेंट ग्रेटिफिकेशन, जैसे ही ये सेशन शुरू हुआ उससे पहले ही मैंने बात बोली थी that when we speak, I think there is no such thing as so gratifying. I mean, you guys are in the business, you guys are in different fields, right? आपको पेमेंट के लिए 2-3 महीने वेट करना पड़ता है, वो तो हमें भी वेट करना पड़ता है, पर उससे पहले हमें एक एक रिवॉर्ड मिल जाता है, और वो रिवॉर्ड है इन फॉर्म ऑफ ऑडियंस रिएक्शन, in form of audience applause or laugh. So that is so gratifying and so encouraging that we love to be part of this profession. But obviously जितने pros है उतने cons भी है. There have been cases which have been filed against me also, when I had spoken openly about the things that I think about in a form of humor. You know what stand-up comedy is as a craft? It's all about you can say anything and everything. I personally feel कि लोग ऐसा बोलते हैं कि फ्रीडम ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन का मिसयूज होता है. I personally feel that freedom of expression का ढंग से यूज नहीं होता है. There is a difference between misuse and ढंग से use. What I personally feel that you can say anything and everything. How I got into comedy is that when I was a radio jockey back in 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I got into comedy in 2011. As a radio jockey, I was not allowed to speak about religion, about politics, about sex, about certain things, which is obviously because of the broadcasting ministry. They have certain norms, they have certain rules and regulations, and you have to live by the law of the land. But obviously, because of this, I was feeling sort of limited because of my artistic side. I wanted to express more, and that's how I got into comedy, wherein there are limitations, but they were not as much as radio. So I personally feel comedy is all about walking on landmines. How you walk through that field of landmines and you get away by saying what you want to say without hurting yourself. So मैं आज तक गलती कर भी दूं, it's a learning process. मैं चाहे जितना भी बोलूं, कुछ भी बोल सकता हूं मैं स्टेज पे. I have joked about my father who has passed away. I have joked about Gujaratis. I have joked about religion. I have joked about politics, and I have got into trouble for all of the above. I've joked about my Masi who has passed away 2 years ago. So I've joked about anything and everything under this sun, and that's what comedy is all about. That आप जो भी बोलना चाहते हो, वो कैसे बोलते हो, how do you present that point is very important. Freedom of expression misuse नहीं, but उसका एक ढंग से use होना चाहिए. And if that happens, then your job, then you are popular, then you are liked by a lot of people. But I can't just go on stage and say, hey, this is what has happened to me. It should have metaphors, it should have analogies which people understand, which people can resonate to. But that's the whole point. I think that we have reached to a point wherein, because of such excessive exposure ऑफ कंटेंट, मतलब हम हर दूसरे दिन अभी सीरीज देख रहे हैं, बिंज वॉच कर रहे हैं, और एक तो अभी सारे वेब शोज एकदम डार्क हो चुके हैं. लाइक नोबडी इज मेकिंग हैप्पी स्टफ, एवरीबडी इज मेकिंग डार्क स्टफ. लाइक पाताल लोक है और असुर है और सीक्रेट गेम्स है, ये सारी चीजें डार्क है, थ्रिलर है. कोई अच्छी ढंग की, मतलब वो खुश कर देने वाली चीजें बहुत कम बन रही है आजकल. एंड दैट्स व्हाट्स द नीड ऑफ द आवर. लाइक पीपल वांट light hearted stuff, people want to be happy, people want to just have a good hearty laugh when they go and watch a film on their Netflix or Amazon. They don't want to be serious all the time. जैसे पाताल लोक के बारे में भी a lot of people are saying कि नहीं यार, उसमें बहुत गाली गलौज है, उसमें बहुत ही disturbing scenes है. I feel those who are saying this have had a very privileged life. I personally feel so, because what they are showing is reality. And unfortunately, in our country, the definition of going to a movie and watching a film on the big screen has more been about fantasy, something that we don't live in our life but is relatable to our life. Like, I don't know if you know, there is a director called Stephen Chow who has made movies like Kung Fu Hustle, who, like Martin Scorsese, he has made gangster films. He has made some Wolf of Wall Street and great films, right? He has. It's basically any art form is exaggeration of reality. That's what it is. If I have to just show reality as it is, then it's not that entertaining. Entertaining है, but it does not live with me for a long time. और मेरे हिसाब से any art form should be the exaggeration of reality. Then it gets across the message to the audience. Now talking from the other perspective, this was the artist perspective. What I think from the because obviously every artist is an audience member also. I also love to watch Jim Carrey films. I love to watch Johnny Lever sir. I love to watch Zakir Khan. I love to watch Veer Das. They've been my mentors. They have taught me a lot during this process of 13 years. Um, कई बार क्या होता है कि जब मैं स्टेज पे जाता हूँ तो ऑडियंस में से कई लोग बोलते हैं कि ऐसी सब बातें करते हो, आपको शर्म नहीं आती है स्टेज पे? हाउ कैन यू टॉक अबाउट योर फैमिली लाइक दिस? हाउ कैन यू टॉक अबाउट आवर कम्युनिटी लाइक दिस? पर मैं ऐसा बोलता हूँ कि ऑडियंस का पर्सपेक्टिव, whenever we watch something, it shouldn't be from our perspective. It should be from the perspective of the artist. That कवि कहना क्या चाहते हैं, आर्टिस्ट क्या कहना चाहते हैं. अगर मैं कुछ भी चीज अपने पर्सपेक्टिव से ही देखता रहूं, तो then there is no point in watching something and understanding something. So it's very important how we watch things from the artist perspective. Um, One time this person literally came up to me and he's like, uh, because I do a lot of Gujarati stand-up comedy, so he came up to me and told me કે તમે ગુજરાતીમાં કેમ અંગ્રેજી શબ્દોનો ભેળસેળ કરો છો? અંગ્રેજી શબ્દ આવા જ ના જોઈએ ગુજરાતીમાં. ગુજરાતી ભાષાનું ઇમ્પોર્ટન્સ જ નથી રહ્યું. I was like, sir, તમે ઇમ્પોર્ટન્સ કેમ કહી રહ્યા છો? Why are you using, you yourself are using English words? So that's the whole point, that if I mix up English words in my comedy, does not mean that I am being disrespectful to my language, my mother tongue, which is Gujarati. So because things are evolving, it's all about adaptability. I have spoken to Johnny sir a lot of times, and he's very apprehensive about getting on digital platform because he himself has not been able to digest the entire platform, how it works, and why is it like this, right? Internet has given accessibility to every Tom, Dick, and Harry to showcase his creativity. TikTok is the best example for it. We see a lot of people who are on TikTok, and that's the evolution of comedy now. Like when we used to watch, we did not even used to watch comedy. We used to listen to comedy. Johnny Lever की कैसेट्स आती थी, वसंत परेश की कैसेट्स आती थी, शाहबुद्दीन राठौड़ की कैसेट्स आती थी. ये सारी चीजें हम सुनते सुनते बड़े हुए हैं. और उसके बाद एक दौर आया है जिसमें in every nook and corner of India, there is accessibility to TikTok, wherein any person can showcase his creativity and show it to the world, and the world will decide whether they want to accept that thing or not. And I think that is the most brilliant thing that could happen, thanks to Mukesh Ambani and Jio. That every corner of India now has accessibility to showcase their creativity. But there are pros and cons to it. Of course, there is good use of it, there is bad use of it, and that's also very subjective. So I personally feel that over a period of time where we have reached today, it's all about adaptability, as I was saying. That Johnny Lever sir is not too friendly with the digital platforms, and that's why you can't see his work online that much. And a lot of people have to adapt social media. मुझे खुद को सोशल मीडिया का ओवर एक्सपोजर पसंद नहीं है, फिर भी मुझे वो अडाप्ट करना पड़ता है, बिकॉज इट हैज बिकम दैट काइंड ऑफ अ कंपटीशन. what has happened is that पहले क्या था कि टेलीविजन, इंटरनेट एक्सेस, ये सारी चीजें प्रिविलेज की थी. इट वाज अ लग्जरी. जस्ट 10 years ago, internet connectivity was luxury in this country, and now it has become a basic right and need for everybody. So what has happened overall to comedy and any sort of content creation is that the consumption of this kind of content, उसका जो ऑडियंस है वो पहले था 100 के ऊपर, अब आ गया वो 70 पे. आई एम जस्ट गिविंग यू अ रफ नंबर, इट्स नॉट एन एग्जैक्ट नंबर. So the IQ level has now gone a little down, you know. So I personally feel that that's why we get certain privileged content creations on Netflix and Amazon, you know. And on YouTube, if you go and watch content, it is a whole different world. If you go to the trending page, you will see the most ridiculous and oblivious things which you have ever seen in your life. So that's the basic difference between free content and subscribed content. What I also feel is that okay, somebody's कुछ हुआ क्या? Am I audible
Ganesh,
to everyone?
someone's screen has started presenting.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I thought कि disconnect हो गया. I'm so sorry. So that's the basic idea about how people should adapt to it. I personally feel that there was a point in time जब लोग पेंटिंग को देख के या म्यूजिक को देख के भी सुनते होंगे और समझते होंगे that oh my god, this is not art. How can music be art? When music started way off, people might be thinking कि ये कैसे art हो सकता है. So today, when I look at TikTok, in my head, I'm like, ये कैसे art हो सकता है? Making a TikTok is not an art form. But what I've realized that every art form goes through mistakes to nurture itself into a legitimate proper art form. And that's what is happening to comedy also in India. That at this point in time, we are at a very infant stage. We are just a decade old industry in this country. And culturally, we are very different from the West. What a lot of comedians do not realize is the context, the cultural relevance of their jokes in our country. We obviously are learning comedy from the West because we watch a lot of Jerry Seinfeld, Russell Peters, Bill Burr, and a lot of other comedians who have influenced over a period of time. George Carlin is one of the best comedians, is one of the best philosophers that has lived in the contemporary world of in the last 5 decades or 10 decades. So I personally feel that because we are trying to implement that a lot over here, it's not working. It's not coming across like that. Like when Kunal Kamra does insult comedy, why it's not translating is that he's not understanding his audience well. That a lot of his audience do not understand the concept of insult comedy. So this is what I feel about comedy, like how we are able to segregate music. Like when we listen to music, if we do not like certain kind of music, like I'm pretty sure everybody over here does not like jazz music. Like there might be few of you who might not like jazz music. There might be few of you who does not like rock music or let's say pop music, you know. But at the same point of time, I personally feel that it's very important that we understand that the same implies in comedy too. how it implies in comedy is that जब हम देखते हैं कॉमेडी तो हम ऐसा सोचते हैं कि अच्छी कॉमेडी होती है या बुरी कॉमेडी होती है. नहीं, जो आपको समझ में आती नहीं आती है उसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि वो बुरी कॉमेडी है. अगर आपकी जोक पे कोई एक बंदा भी हंसता है तो वो जोक एक कॉमेडी है. That is still comedy. That is still funny to somebody. If I so how we segregate? We can segregate jazz music, rock music, pop music, hip hop music, K-pop music, but we don't segregate comedy like that. We have to segregate in our heads. We have to segregate comedy like that. There can be dark humor, there can be slapstick humor, there can be toilet humor, there can be sex jokes. So there is a different platter of comedy and style of every comedian. What will happen over a period of time is that the audience has to realize themselves कि ओ मुझे कुणाल कामरा की कॉमेडी पसंद है, ओ मुझे जॉनी लीवर की कॉमेडी पसंद है, ओ मुझे वीरदास की कॉमेडी पसंद है, मुझे जाकिर खान की कॉमेडी पसंद है. There is, it is impossible for any comedian in this entire world to make everybody laugh equally. मैं अभी जो बात कर रहा हूं, I'm pretty sure I'm not able to make everybody please with my thoughts. Not everybody will agree to me as a comedian or my thought process or my philosophies about comedy, right? And you have all the right to do that. Some people raise voice during the show, some people raise after the show, some people go back home and write it on blog कि आज मनन ने तो कुछ अलग ही बोल दिया, बहुत गंदा बोला उसने ये वो, right? People have different way to express their grievance or their issues with the kind of comedy that we do. But for example, when I see Jerry Seinfeld, who is the highest earning comedian at this point in time in the world, he earns in millions. His recent special came out. I did not like it. I did not connect with it. He said something that I did not disagree with, right? That does not mean that I have to voice my opinion or take him down all the time. Like, for example, there's a comedian whose name is Anthony Jeselnik. He jokes about pedophiles. He jokes about rape. He jokes about some of the most ridiculous things anybody could imagine. मतलब आपके दिमाग में सबसे गंदी में गंदी जोक आती है, वो सारी चीजों के बारे में वो जोक करता है एंथनी जेसेल्निक. If you go and watch his special called Thoughts and Prayers, it is one of the best specials that I've seen. पर वो स्पेशल में भी ऐसी 5 चीजें हैं जिसके साथ मैं कंप्लीटली डिसएग्री करता हूँ कि ये तो गलत है, ये इमोरल है, ये बहुत ही गलत है, ये ऑफेंसिव है. But you know, that's the whole point, that when you look it from the perspective of the comedian, you will realize, oh, this is what he means, this is what she means. And you have to just ignore that fact. If I acknowledge all my grievances all the time, then I will be stuck up. I will be just a complaint box all the time. So that's the whole point about comedy, that you don't have to take it seriously. And a lot of people take it seriously. Like, for example, I'll give you my own personal example. When the Patel Andolan was happening in Gujarat, when the Patel reservation thing was happening in Gujarat, I was very vocal about it online. And I spoke my opinions. And one of the jokes that I cracked was, for which I got in trouble, was that, Patels think that the government will listen to them, but they don't realize that when the government was forming in India, तभी भी किसी ने पटेल की नहीं सुनी थी. And people just lost it. I got death threats. I got all sorts of inbox and messages and WhatsApp. I had to report in cybercrime in Baroda. And thankfully, there was a person who had sent me a death threat. He was just a 21-year-old boy from Mehsana, and he was so shit scared. And उसको पता नहीं चला कि मैं ऐसा कर सकता हूँ, मैं ट्रैक कर सकता हूँ, मैं फाइल कंप्लेन कर सकता हूँ. But that's the whole point, that in my entire house, my wife, my mother, they were all really worried when these things were happening with me. And similar cases have happened with me on different occasions when I've got in trouble for saying simple jokes on the stage. Like, I've said some very ridiculous stuff on stage. I've talked about the last conversation that I've had with my father, who is no more. And the last conversation I had with my father, and it's true, it was about pornography. I was 17 back then, and the last conversation I've had with my father was about pornography, and I have a joke about it. I have an entire 5-10 minutes joke about it. when I released this online, there were a lot of people who connected with it. There were a lot of people who still message me after 4 years of me doing that joke. There are still people who send me long messages by saying things. Ke Manan, last year my dad passed away, and every time I look at that stand-up comedy bit of yours, I really get emotional. So thank you so very much for encouraging me during. And that's the purpose of comedy. That it is not necessary that it will reach to you, but it will reach to somebody who needs it, who needs that encouragement. And that's the whole point. That maybe you might not laugh at a joke, maybe you might not laugh at some sort of comedy. But there is somebody who will laugh at that, and maybe the audience is not you. I don't like, I might say a very controversial thing, but I think Jagjit Singh is overrated. But that's my opinion, you know, and I don't mean disrespect to it. I personally feel जितनी जरूरत अपनी सोसाइटी को at this point in time रोटी कपड़ा मकान, इसके बाद नंबर आता है freedom of expression. I personally feel anything and everything can be said in comedy if it's presented well. I know a lot of people who make mistakes of not presenting a joke properly, and not because they mean disrespect or they mean they want to demean a culture or a religion or a politician or a political party. It's just that they have written a bad joke. It's that is the whole point. That it's never like when Kunal Kamra does jokes. I tell him he's a friend of mine, and I tell him a lot of times that you are comedy ka Rakhi Sawant. I happily tell him कि तू क्या कर रहा है यार, ये सारी चीजें मत कर. But sometimes I find his jokes hilarious, and what he has single-handedly what he has done, what a lot of people don't realize. In the beginning, we were all, including myself, I was abusing Kunal a lot for his left liberal stance. But what I realized today is that he opened all of us to openly criticize the current government. And that is what is required in this society. That if we have to move ahead, we have to criticize the things. Like, I can't be a comedian who can't take a joke on myself. Like, when there is a good joke on me or my work, or even about how I look, I retweet it because I find it funny. If you are funny, then I would support that thing. But if you're a bad joke writer, then I would not encourage you. It's like that. So sometimes a lot of things like personal remarks bhi hoti hai. And a lot of times in my profession, what happens is that a lot of people come up to me and tell me कि comedy कैसे करी जाती है. A lot of people recently only, like 6 months back, I was in a private wedding. I was performing. I was hosting the private Sangeet. And this doctor comes up to me and he tells me that, Manan, you should not do below the belt jokes. Okay? If you do clean comedy, then you will go way ahead. You will become popular. I was like, sir, what kind of doctor you are? So he was like, I'm a gynecologist. I was like, sir, आपका प्रोफेशन ही बिलो द बेल्ट है और आप मुझे क्या करना है वो सिखा रहे हो. Like, this is the most ironical thing in my life, that because my art form is a little visual, a lot of people come up to me and they tell me कि मनन एक जोक तो सुना है यार, तू कॉमेडियन है यार, एक जोक समझा है ना प्लीज, एक जोक हो जाए. I was like, you are a doctor. I don't tell you to do a bypass surgery over here. Like, why is that a compulsion that you have to always tell a professional? Like, महफिल जमी हुए हैं, लोगों के हाथ में ग्लास है, there is a musician in the room, you will always tell him कि अरे कुछ हो जाए, come on. I wouldn't tell a civil engineer कि कहीं बंदी ना आप तो यहाँ कसो बांधकाम कर तो. I wouldn't say that, right? So that is the whole point, that usually जो पहले से चला आ रहा है कि कॉमर्स एंड साइंस स्ट्रीम वर द ओनली लेजिटिमेट स्ट्रीम्स. या तो माँ बाप अपने बेटे को सीए बनाना चाहते थे, या इंजीनियर, या तो फिर डॉक्टर बनाना चाहते थे. थिंग्स आर चेंजिंग नाउ. इवन आर्ट स्ट्रीम इज गेटिंग इट्स ड्यू that it deserves, and a lot of parents are today encouraging their kids to do something in extracurricular field. wherein they can pursue their art form, let it be dancing, let it be comedy, let it be painting or music or whatever. And that's what I like about internet, that internet has really made parents think that art form can be a legitimate way of life. I think that comedy is the tool to bring about a change in the society, and it's doing that. It's gradually doing that. We are also learning. हम लोग दूध के धुले हुए नहीं है. I am not. I'm not a modern day philosopher, or my entire purpose. Also, what I would like to add to whatever I said right now, comedy is not just about cause. Like, I always make sure that my joke is bigger than my cause, because the audience always comes for the jokes, not the cause. If my cause becomes bigger than my joke, then I am just a politician. So I personally feel that if you, like, अगर आप 80% 90% ऑडियंस को हंसाते हो और 10-20% में एक अच्छी बात कह जाते हो, then it's a great thing for the audience as well. I am still learning myself. It has been a long time since I'm still, and the best thing is that when you go on stage, तभी आपको पता चलता है कि आप, क्योंकि क्या है, क्रिकेटर्स तो नेट प्रैक्टिस कर लेते हैं, पर हमारे लिए नेट प्रैक्टिस नहीं, हमारे लिए डायरेक्ट स्टेज पे ही होता है और वैसे ही हम सीखते हैं. वी कांट रिहर्स इन फ्रंट ऑफ द मिरर. वी नीड द ऑडियंस रिएक्शन टू अंडरस्टैंड कि हमारी जोक कितनी चल रही है, कितनी नहीं चल रही है. एंड एक जोक को ग्रो होने में इट टेक्स अबाउट, व्हेन वी स्पीक ऑन स्टेज, आपको लगता है कि ये तो 5 मिनट की बात है, उतनी ज्यादा मेहनत क्या लगती है, तो वहां से बातें उठा के उसने कर ली होगी. नो, 90% of the comedians do jokes originally. They do not steal from WhatsApp or anywhere else. The jokes which work the most are the jokes with personal experience in it, because it has that much of conviction. If I speak about my own personal experiences, so I personally feel that कोई भी joke करता है comedy में, it's very extremely important that it's personal, it's close to heart. Then only audience उसको समझ पाएगी, उसको enjoy कर पाएगी. And so yeah, that's the bigger picture, bigger idea how comedy works. Anil Kapoor has joined, which is great. I think I'm a big fan, Anil Kapoor ji. Uh, just saw you entering. I don't know who Anil Kapoor is. But yes, please keep your microphones on mute. All right. So that is the bigger picture. So now serious बातें हो चुकी है. Now I want to make the environment a little lighter, because that's what people are here for. They never thought that I will talk such serious stuff. So that's the whole point about me, that मैं comedian हूँ तो लोग मेरे से comedy expect करते हैं. That's the most
No,
ironic.
but we have had like a lot of questions for you. But yeah, please continue. Please continue.
So I'll now take questions actually. So I would like to take questions, और उसमें मैं बाकी की सारी चीजें incorporate कर दूंगा जो मेरे दिमाग में है. But more or less I've covered a lot of points. So yeah.
Okay, so we have like a lot of questions. We started with the first question that was shared by Mr. Alok Dubey.
Okay.
He basically wanted to understand the difference between humor and comedy, if at all there is any.
So humor is in the mind. Sense of humor is something which is there in your head, and comedy is something how you visualize that humor. So if I'm doing comedy, how do I present my sense of humor through that thing is very important. So sometimes what happens is that everybody has a sense of humor and everybody has a different sense of humor. But how do I present that sense of humor or that humor format is what is called comedy. Like, I can be a writer. If I have a sense of humor, am I able to project that humor in my head in a proper format on paper? Or am I able to perform that in front of the camera? Or am I able to perform that on stage? So comedy is nothing but the presentation of humor. That's the basic difference between both the things.
Perfect. Perfect. So then there's the other question that is by Yogendra C. Chauhan. He wants you to comment on today's standard of comedy, like in terms of films and television series, with an example, if you can just share something.
Yeah, so a lot of people criticize few of the legends of comedy, and it is very subjective. I'm talking from all angles. So when we watch somebody like Kapil Sharma or Siddharth Randeria, you see that there is a lot of misogyny. There is a lot of comedy about husband-wife jokes. It's funny when I was watching them as an audience member. My wife has worked as an assistant director on comedy nights when Kapil Sharma was part of it. And I was there for a couple of episodes. Shooting was going on. When I spoke to Kapil, he's a very nice guy. He's a very genuine guy. He's just giving what the audience wants. So I had a very hearty discussion about him. I've had this hearty discussion with Siddharth Randeria also. Those who don't know Siddharth Randeria is, he's one of the topmost theater artists of Gujarat. And he has this character called Gujju Bhai. And in particular, Gujju Bhai mein, when he does this particular play, he gives the audience what they have come for, right? There are two kinds of artists, right? Is what I feel. The one artist is the artist which goes to the level of the audience and talks to them, and the other artist is the artist who is speaking what he wants and brings the audience to his level, right? So that is the basic difference between a mass artist and a niche artist. I'm not saying class artist, right? Like for example, I personally believe that I'm doing a bit of both. I'm trying to find that balance. That थोड़ी चीजें मैं जाके audience के level पे बात करूंगा और थोड़ी चीजें मैं अपनी add करूंगा. And I would expect the audience to resonate with my thoughts, you know. But Kapil Sharma and Siddharth Randeria are kind of the artists who will give the audience what they've come for. Nothing less, nothing more, right? So the question which Yogendra Singh Chauhan had asked, a lot of comedy that we have seen on television and on film is basically about misogyny or sexism or cross-dressing, males dressing as females and all of that. It's not cheap, I would say. It's basically that we do not resonate to it. As I said earlier, that every comedy has an audience. And unfortunately, because of a lot of extremism, like I personally feel that India as a country is the most extreme-ended country in the entire world. यहाँ पे डेमोग्राफ इतना एक्सट्रीम है, यहाँ पे वेदर कंडीशंस इतने एक्सट्रीम है, सब कुछ एक्सट्रीम है, टेरेंस भी इतने एक्सट्रीम है. So the only problem is that I wouldn't expect a panwala to laugh at my jokes, but he would definitely know and laugh at a Kapil Sharma joke, right? And I'm not catering to that kind of an audience. I'm catering to a like-minded audience. But people like Kapil Sharma and Siddharth Randeria have a huge responsibility of catering to a large audience. Like what I love about BBK Vines, who is one of the topmost YouTubers right now in India, he started off by doing very vulgar and very not vulgar, but it's just how people see it. I don't see it as vulgar. It's just a creative expression, is what I feel. Um, but he did a lot of under the belt, below the belt jokes, and a lot of ridiculous abuses and cuss words and everything. But his last episode, he talked about how people are suffering today because of Corona in our country, and that's what I loved about him. That he created a huge audience base of close to 20 million people on his YouTube. And today he took that responsibility about him and gave out a message to those 20 million people that, hey guys, we need to take care of the transgender in our community, in our country. We have to take care of the migrants in our country. And that's what I love, that if you create a huge image, a huge popularity as an artist, I personally feel that you have a sense of responsibility also to give it back to the society. So if Kapil Sharma doesn't do something which will be useful and contributing to Indian society, I don't think it's cheap. And overall, the audience is not similarly educated. Like everybody comes from a different field. I come from a commerce field. I've done just BCom and I've got into this field. So सबका IQ level same नहीं होता है. If I crack a joke about Donald Trump, I wouldn't expect a pani puri wala to laugh at that joke, right? But I would expect you to laugh at that joke. So it's not about cheap or bad or standard and everything. It's also the commercialization of content. When I see Tarak Mehta, I see how can this be the number one show in our country. Tarak Mehta ka Ulta Chashma, how can it be the number one show in our country? It's impossible to have. When I used to watch something like Dekh Bhai Dekh or Zaban Sambhal Ke or these kind of serials back in the 90s, they were the best comedy serials ever.
Hands down.
But that's the whole point. कि तभी television was a privilege. सबके पास टेलीविजन नहीं था. इनफैक्ट सोसाइटी में पहले एक ही घर में टीवी था और सब लोग सोसाइटी के लोग वो टीवी देखने घर पे जाते थे, एक ही घर पे. हर रोज रात को महाभारत हो या कुछ एक सुरभि नाम का भी शो आता था. Malgudi Days was one of the best shows. Office was something which was between the new era of TV and the old era of TV. So that is genuine content for me. But unfortunately, then Ekta Kapoor came into the picture, and so Ekta Kapoor in the late 90s is what Mukesh Ambani is to the internet in late 2010s. What happened to TV was because of Ekta Kapoor. What happened to internet was because of Mukesh Ambani. It got everybody on board. It literally got everybody on board. और जब सब लोग आ जाते हैं तो अपने आप IQ लेवल का जो लेवल है जो होना चाहिए वो आ जाता है. क्योंकि जब प्रिविलेज होता है सोसाइटी में तभी ऑब्वियसली कंटेंट उतना रिच होगा. पर जैसे ही सबके पास एक्सेसिबिलिटी आ जाएगी, so you can't expect to have intelligent jokes or smart jokes all the time. और ये लोग भी, I'm telling you, Siddharth Randeria, Kapil Sharma, they have the capacity to crack the best jokes in the country, the most smartest jokes in the country, but they know their audience. If they decide to do a niche, they can beat the biggest comedians today in the country. But they are not doing that because they are playing for the mass. They are not playing for the niche. They are not Dravid. They are Virat Kohli. That's the difference. They are not VVS Lakshman. They are Sachin Tendulkar. So that's the difference, I feel.
Great. There are a lot of times these stand-up comedians, they come on stage and they just say that यार मैं तो बहुत lazy हूँ, मैं दोपहर को 12 बजे उठता हूँ, मैं दोपहर को 1 बजे उठता हूँ. So we have this very interesting question that has been asked कि are in reality comedians so lazy? Because possible नहीं है यार, तुम्हारा schedule तो होगा. You have to have some planning. It's like a trainer coming on stage and saying, dude, I have to sleep. मैं बस training के पहले उठ के आके training देता हूँ. Can't digest that.
So one of the best jokes that I've heard is lazy. Sumit Anand और करुणेश ने बहुत ही अच्छे jokes किए हैं इसके बारे में. As I said earlier, that comedy is just exaggeration of reality. So we are not that lazy, but yes, we are lazy. But at the same point of time, जितना expectation, जितनी मेहनत एक newcomer को करनी रहती है एक field में, उतनी ही मेहनत एक established comedian को भी करनी रहती है. In fact, for any field, because you have to sustain the expectation of the audience of your customers who are your main consumers. तो मेरे हिसाब से when people realize that, oh, now that I have an audience base, I have to sustain this base. And that's why we start implementing discipline in our lives. Like when I started off, I was a very lazy ass. But now that I realize that I have a responsibility, I personally feel discipline is what makes an artist different from other artists. So a lot of people are artists, right? But there is a difference between a successful artist and just an artist. The difference is the discipline. Veer Das is the most disciplined comedian in the country today, hands down. Okay. Kevin Hart is the most disciplined comedian in the entire world, hands down. That's why they are the biggest names where they come from. And that's what makes people. If you look at Veerdas's schedule, if you follow him, you will realize that केविन हार्ट की एक डॉक्यूमेंट्री है नेटफ्लिक्स पे, वो अगर देखोगे तो आपको पता चलेगा कि हाउ डेडिकेटेडली दीज कमेडियंस वर्क. सो वंस वी हैव दैट बेस, इस टाइम वी रियलाइज दैट ओ अब काम करना पड़ेगा, अब डिसिप्लिन लाना पड़ेगा. तो शुरुआत में हम बहुत लेजी होते हैं, but once we have an audience which is waiting for us to release new content every other day, we really disciplinize ourselves. Because आपके फील्ड में आप खुद के बॉस हो सकते हो, या तो आपका कोई बॉस हो सकता है, पर हमारे फील्ड में we have so many bosses and that's the audience. So हमारी फील्ड में हमारे बॉस है हमारा ऑडियंस, जो हमें पैसे देख के हमारे शोज देखने आता है, या हमें ऑनलाइन देखता है, या हमारा मर्चेंडाइज खरीदता है. सो वी आर आंसरेबल टू thousands of boards of directors. So that's the primary difference between a life of an artist and a life of a businessman.
Brilliant, brilliant. There is a question by Deep here. Deep wants to know, when can we see your stand-up special? There are so many stand-up specials coming.
So my stand-up special one I've released called Ashud Gujarati, which is there on the YouTube free of cost for everybody to watch. It has English subtitles as well, so those who feel like watching it can watch it. But besides that, we were going to shoot for a comedy special this year. In fact, in June only I had planned कि 5th June को मैं मेरा touring शुरू करूंगा, और उसके बाद मैं I'll be taping that special and probably releasing in one of the OTT platforms, पर वो थोड़ा postpone हो गया है. So let's see, next year तक we'll be able to release a comedy special for sure.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Now, I mean, I am a storyteller, so I take sessions on art of storytelling. Now, here Mithul wants to know how to develop the art of being a comedian.
Okay, so I personally feel that every art form is about storytelling. राइट कोई भी आर्ट फॉर्म ले लो आप, फिल्म मेकिंग है, पेंटिंग है, पोएट्री है, स्टैंड अप कॉमेडी है, म्यूजिक है, एवरीबडी इज टेलिंग अ स्टोरी व्हिच दे रिलेट टू, व्हिच दे रेजोनेट टू. और जो खुद की स्टोरी हो, दिल के करीब जो स्टोरी हो, अगर वो कहानी हम कहने की कोशिश करते हैं तो वो ज्यादा लोग तक पहुंचती है. if I try to do something, let's say if I try to write a movie about a Bihari Pani Puri wala, then it would not work because I can't live what he has lived through. मैं थोड़ा रिसर्च कर सकता हूँ, उसके लिए काम बहुत जाएगा, मेहनत बहुत जाएगी. But if I talk about me trying to have an argument with my mother, वो चीज मैं ज्यादा कन्विंसिंगली कह पाऊंगा क्योंकि मैं आर्ग्यू बहुत रेगुलरली करता हूँ मेरी मम्मी के साथ. So that's the difference between different storytellers, so if you want to get into comedy, obviously there are certain things called open mics. Open mics mein you can definitely go and perform. There are local open mics happening in almost every city in the country right now, especially in Ahmedabad and Baroda. Abhi to thoda lockdown ki wajah se band hai. But there are open mics. You can register to any of the open mics. Just type in your name and your city name. Open mics and your city name on Facebook and you will get the results. And that really helps everybody to, that's also how I started. Like, mere initial shows open mics hi the, where everybody gets a chance to speak on stage for 5 to 10 minutes and they have to try new jokes all the time. And if people find you funny, then obviously they will call you for their private weddings or their private shows or corporate shows. And that's how I started off my journey. Because when I started off, people were saying that Gujarat ma stand-up comedy kai rite thai shake. How can Gujaratis, will they be able to accept stand-up comedy? यहाँ पे तो मार्केट ही नहीं है. And that's the whole point. Because in my Gujarati head, I was like, अरे मार्केट नहीं है तो बेस्ट है ना, मैं मार्केट खुद क्रिएट कर सकता हूँ. जहां पे मार्केट नहीं है वहां पे सबसे बड़ा स्कोप है मार्केट क्रिएट करने का. So today I have had that privilege and thankfully I have great support from my team at the Comedy Factory and a lot of comedians in the local community that was supported in my endeavors. So जैसे हमारे टीम में भी चिरायु है, दीप है, ओम है, all of these guys have formally joined us. I did not know them before I started comedy. Nepotism नहीं था वो. So I saw them performing at different open mics. क्योंकि क्या होता है कि जब आप open mics पे perform करते हो और आपका content अच्छा होता है तो अपने आप वो ग्रेप वाइन बातें शुरू हो जाती है. अरे तूने ये देखा नया बंदा कर रहा है कॉमेडी, ये मिथुन कुमार मेहता है, बहुत सही कॉमेडियन है, you should watch his shows. So I end up watching them and then I formally help them out to achieve newer heights. That's what I do at personal level for the community of comedy in Gujarat. But elsewhere, there are different people who really take care of open micers. They try to groom them. They try to mentor them. मतलब हर ओपन माइक में एक बेरोजगार कॉमेडियन होगा जिसको कॉमेडी बहुत अच्छे से आता होगा पर वो उतना पॉपुलर नहीं हुआ होगा, जो मेंटरशिप करता है नए नए लोगों का. So just go and watch and perform at any open mics. And age no bar, gender no bar. You can do comedy. I've seen a 60, 70-year-old do comedy. I've seen an 11-year-old do comedy. I've seen a transgender do comedy. I've seen a Kambali Bai do comedy. So that's the best part about comedy, that when you perform at open mic, there are hardly any people who will judge you. It's the most democratic and the most free feeling kind of a feeling when you perform at open mics. मैं open mics में जो बातें करता हूँ वो मैं actual stage पे बातें नहीं कर सकता हूँ, because open mics का structure, उसकी intimacy इतनी beautiful होती है. So yeah, that's the best avenue for people to get into comedy, and that's open mics.
Rachna here has a question. How do you create your content as an individual?
So my content comes from my real life. I have the thing about content is it's not about what you do, but it's also about what you don't do. I have 30, 50 ideas for making a film. I have 30, 50 ideas for my stand-up comedy routine. I have millions of ideas for different things that I want to do over a period of time. जैसे कि मैंने अभी एक शो किया है जिसका नाम है मनन्नी थेरेपी. Now, Mananni Therapy is the first content acquisition by Geo Studios in Gujarati. It was a talk show which I have been planning since past 3 years. And it struck my head when I was going to therapy. Matlab, there's a point in time in 2017 when I was not feeling myself. I needed some clarity in life. So I did therapy for about 8 months. There was no disorder which was detected, but it was just for the peace of mind that I did that therapy, and I really felt great. There are a lot of things which were unanswered in my life were answered through therapy. A lot of times what happens in our life is that we try to do something and we try to just bury those dark memories, but burying those dark memories keeps it unresolved. And that's what therapy helped me do, that because I was vocal about those dark memories, it got resolved in my life. And that's when I got the idea of doing Mananni Therapy, because we have seen tons of talk shows. We have seen the Kapil Sharma show, we know Coffee with Karan, we know Between Two Ferns, Jimmy Fallon show, Tonight Show, but nobody has touched a comedy show like this, a comedy talk show like this. So I'm a fake psychologist in that show, and all the Gujarati celebrities are my guests. And I am analyzing them from their mental point of view. And it's a very nice way for mental health awareness. Especially in Gujarat, when I told my mom that, Mom, I think I have depression, my mom is like, nah, Gujarati ho, main Urdu na hai. That's how we react to mental health in Gujarat. I mean, during this coronavirus also, people are taking care of their physical health, but people are forgetting to take care of their mental health because it's equally important. We are all frustrated. We are all working from home. We are sitting at home. We don't know how the markets are going to react. We don't know what future has in stores for us, whether a second wave will hit or not, whether there will be more deaths, whether we'll surpass, what will happen to Donald Trump, what will Modi ji do. All this tension is there, right? And it is domestic violence has increased, and domestic violence has only increased because of mental health issues. So it released at a great time. It released last month only on 5th of May. on Sigmund Freud's birth date, and it was just a mere coincidence. Um, so that's how it happens. When we create content, we think about a lot of things, but we also think कि मुझे कौन सी चीज नहीं करनी है और जो करनी है उसका right time क्या है. Like when we give interviews in different corporates and MNCs, people ask us in the interview, where do you see yourself after 5 years? I actually know, I have a storyboard of my life wherein I know where I see myself after 5 years. And that kind of discipline is very much required in an artist's life. That मैंने अभी से सोच के रखा है कि 4 साल के बाद मैं कौन सा कंटेंट क्रिएट करने वाला. So when we get into content creation, we choose something which is close to our heart, which is close to our mind. And that's what happened with Manani therapy. That mental health के बारे में मैंने इसीलिए मैं vocalize किया उस चीज को, because I went through therapy and I realized how important mental health is. And that's across the board, across the table for everybody, that people talk about content creation primarily because what is close to their heart. मतलब I personally feel जब राजू हिरानी ने भी जब बात की थी थ्री इडियट्स के बारे में, I'm pretty sure that in his life he knew somebody who tried to commit suicide because of the peer pressure or the parental pressure in education. Though Three Idiots was a funny film, it was out and out comedy, but there are certain great messages given through that film. And that is what is, and why Raju Hirani also created Sanju is because he was so close to Sanjay Dutt because of Munna Bhai MBBS and Lage Raho Munna Bhai, that they talked a lot about Sanjay Dutt's life, and that's how he got the idea of making Sanju, right? So that's the whole point, that if I'm talking to you today and if you tell me something about your life which I completely connect with, I would immediately make, like I was talking to my psychologist the other day, and you will see this one day. She told me how a drug consumer in Gujarat married a drug dealer in Rajasthan, and they were her clients. And I find this idea so mind boggling that I want to create something out of this. So I might just take this idea up and create this sometime later. Like there is a girl called Hetal, who is the first female sumo wrestler from India. She went to the 2009 Olympics, and she had been fat shamed. And just to win credibility from and that kind of validation from the society, she turned into a sumo. And I resonate to that because आज मेरी भी तोंद काफी बढ़ गई है. And I also get fat shamed a lot of times. So I resonate to that thought that, oh my God, that how do you turn the thing you are bullied for into your strength? And that's very inspiring for me. Ke Hetal, who was, fat shamed, and she then turns in her weakness into a strength. That is so inspirational. And that's what it is, that stories are all around you. And that's why I like to talk to people. And their inspiring stories. So that's what it is.
Brilliant. I mean, it takes a lot of courage to, tell that you have suffered from something like a mental trauma and you have been able to take help. And that's quite brave of you. And the other similarity between Hetal and you are both of you are commerce graduates. So yes, I'm sure you will be able to take inspiration from her. So we have
Yes.
another question from Elvis. Elvis wants to know that was it very difficult financially to enter into the stand-up comedy scene? Or how did you bear with that?
Oh yes, it was extremely difficult because the art form is very new, and when you try to educate the audience while you are performing that art form, it's very difficult. It's a very tricky surface because when you were trying to say things which have never been said before on stage, people were taken aback. Oh my God, ये ऐसे कैसे बोल सकता है stage पे? ये ऐसी बातें कैसे कर सकता है? So we were educating the audience while we were performing. And a lot of times we started off with a very, very small number. We used to perform, I believe Bhavik sir was also part of that audience, wherein there were only 50 to 100 people in our audience. And over a period of time, they increased from 200 to 500 to 1,000, and now the whole internet. So when I had decided, so this was my Gujarati head, in my Gujarati mind, I had kept a number in my head that जिस दिन मैं कॉमेडी से उतना कमाऊंगा जितना मैं रेडियो से कमा रहा हूँ, उस दिन मैं रेडियो पूरा का पूरा छोड़ दूंगा. And at that point in time, my salary was 40,000, and I was giving 10 to 12 hours a day to radio every day. And I was just giving 3 to 4 hours to comedy every week from 2011 to 2014. और वो 3-4 घंटे में ही at the end of 2014, I started getting double than what I was getting from doing radio. And that's the time I decided कि हाँ मुझे अभी comedy करनी है. But when I plunged into it, 1 or 2 years down the line, because initially जब मैं private shows में जाके perform करता था या corporate show में perform करता था, because I was learning myself, I did not perform that great initially. I would be very honest that from 2011 to 2016, I was performing very immature comedy. मतलब, when I look back at my footages from back then, I cringe myself कि ये सब करता था मैं stage पे. And because of that, I had a very bad name in the private sector. I was not being called for private shows. I was not being called for corporate shows. That Manan last time ये show किया था, reference लेते हैं कि कैसा रहा था मनन का show. अरे ठीक रहा था, उतना मजा नहीं आया था ये वो. और उसकी वजह से मुझे shows नहीं मिल रहे थे. So there was a point where I was completely broke और मेरी गाड़ी का और मेरा घर का EMI चल रहा था और ये सब चल रहा था. Vidya and I both used to feed our dog. I think it was 2015, not 16. It was 2014-15 when we used to feed our dog, but we were not able to feed ourselves. So there was a bad phase of good 3-4 months wherein we were planning to go back to radio, but thankfully, YouTube clicked for us, और हमारा marketing काफी अच्छा हुआ. YouTube gave a very good reputation to our brand, the Comedy Factory. And it's difficult. Initially, it's very difficult because in today's world, people always look for instant gratification. But that's the whole point, that money is a byproduct. Money can never be the main thing you get into any field. Let it be any sort of business also you do. If you just get in any business for the love of money or any art form for the love of money, then there is no internal satisfaction for what you're doing. And what kept me going is the reward of the audience, the applause break or the laugh whenever I used to go on stage. That's what the actual reward is. And that's what I focused on. I focused on getting more laughs rather than focusing on getting more money. So once I focused on getting more laughs is the time I automatically started getting more money. And that's what it applies to any field, anywhere, that if you point and if you focus on making customer happy, making the consumer happy, then money will automatically come. You can't think of the profits all the time. You can't think of the money all the time. And that's what I personally feel how you should take the Comedy Factory or any business for that matter.
Comedy Factory, can you just share a bit about us? Like, how did you start up with Comedy Factory and what were the initial challenges and where do you stand today? A bit of your story, if possible.
Yeah, so Comedy Factory started off as a sole proprietary of Vidya, my wife, because she encouraged me to be a stand-up comedian. I just gave her an idea that I want to be a comedian. And she was like, why the hell are you not doing it? And I was like, yeah, I can do it. I'm a radio jockey. I'm a little popular. So audience bhi mil jayegi. But the first time I performed on 26th of August 2011, I bombed. I tanked completely. And 50 minutes of just matam macha hua tha audience mein. Just 10 minute log hase the. It happened at one of the cafes, one of the sports lounges in Baroda. It's called Offside Lounge, when it was at the M Cube Mall on Jetalpur Road. So not the 50 minutes, but I focused on the 10 minutes. And Vidya is like, you can do it. So we kept trying and trying. And then later on, we did a partnership company. And since past couple of years, it is one of the most biggest entertainment brands in Gujarat. We are now a private limited company with partnership of me and Vidya on it. and it's a great turnover. Since past 2 3 years, we are crossing good turnover overall. But ये साल तो किसी का turnover इतना अच्छा नहीं हुआ. So that's gonna be that. But we are finally, अभी तक क्या था, हमारा focus सिर्फ live shows और YouTube पे था. But now we are becoming a comedy solutions company. So what we are going to do is that we are speaking to a couple of real estate builders in Ahmedabad. We are speaking to a couple of FMCG brands, and we are going to give customized campaigns to them. Because what we have realized that we are now venturing into movies also, we are venturing into web shows, and we are venturing into an agency which executes brand campaign for any brand or any product, which will really push the envelope and customize something which is related to the world today. So it is something very interesting. Like last year, we did a campaign for Gujarat Fortune Giants, which is a Kabaddi Pro Kabaddi team, and we did stand-up comedy routines, and that was a great campaign. We did a campaign for Swiggy, wherein we did comedy sketches for them by involving certain comedy plugins of Swiggy in those sketches, and they exactly got the results which they wanted. And that's, we want to do little bit only, not too much. But yes, we are focusing big time on movies and web shows now. So just from being a simple event management company come live shows comedy, uh, live comedy shows, we are now into digital content creation also. We were just doing YouTube for the marketing purposes कि audience में हमारा नाम रहे, audience हमको ध्यान में रखे. But now we are taking things to the next level. Like today, thankfully, Touchwood, Zakir Khan, Veer Das, any international comedian, Abhishek Upmanyu, Johnny Sir, everybody, whenever they perform in Gujarat, they call the Comedy Factory and they're like, "Hey, Manan, we are planning to do this show. Would you be ready to associate with us?" And that's the relationship we have built with the comedy circuit in the entire country. So whenever you see a show of Veer Das or Amit Tandon or Kenny Sebastian or Zakir Khan or Aditi Mittal or Johnny Lever, more or less 80% chances are that we are only organizing that show. So that is also one of our main incomes. One of the business models for the Comedy Factory, how the money generates by organizing. And we only organize comedy shows. We don't organize plays or theater plays or whatever. Now we have also started getting into music. We have started something called Gunjan Records Private Limited, which is the first proper record label from Gujarat. Abhi tak, what was missing in Gujarati music was a legitimate record label company like a T Series or Tips or Speed Records. And that's what we are planning to do with Gunjan Records. It will be artist driven, it won't be business driven. We have just released a couple of songs also, one with Sachin Jigar and one with, we have created a Kachi rap, one of its kind. And now we are releasing one more song with new artists, with established artists, with all sorts of artists. So these are the plans we have overall.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Amazing to hear the evolution that you have, undergone for the past 13 years, or rather past 9 years once you started off with Comedy
Yeah.
Factory. But
Thank
I
you.
mean, there's a lot of love that you are generating amongst the audience from Baroda. Being a Barodian, I mean, we are very proud of you. Now, before we try to close this up, we would love to just hear a few minutes of you just cracking us up with something that you have to say.
Yeah, sure, why not? Um, I would like to thank everybody for being part of this, and it's really important um, that you gave me this platform to share a few words with everybody who's joined in right now. Thank you so very much to Deep and Half Minded. I think that's
That's Elvis. Elvis, apparently,
yes,
he's played a lot of PUBG with you.
oh yeah, he has written some long. Nothing much to ask, sir, but really, I love you and the whole Comedy Factory team because of your personalities, content, and for bringing stand-up comedians to Vadodara by associating with them. Many. All right. Thank you so much. Tarun. Is it the same Tarun who was my classmate? Oh yeah, that's the guy. That's great. Hi Tarun, Kem J. All right, so couple of last things, and then I would like to take your leave. And it has been more than 1 hour since I've been speaking. So before I start my session, because my throat is now really dry, so I'll just have a sip of water.
Yes, please.
That's what happens, you know. Comedians, they keep glass of water on stage just to look cool. Very
I
interesting.
hope it's only water that they have.
I have water here. This is, I'm pretty sure it's a water. So what would you like to hear? I would,
Anything.
I,
Anything.
I want to do on-spot comedy. So there is called something called on-the-spot improv comedy. So anything you would like to say or any suggestions that you would like to give, उसके बारे में मैं बात करूँगा.
Something about COVID-19 and Mr. Prime Minister.
अरे बाप रे. Oh God, Modi sir, Modi sir, we should try ना. Modi sir is one of the best. Um, I personally feel that, see, guys, I can't crack jokes on Modi ji because I don't want to go to jail, primarily, number one thing. And I don't want a bad name for our community and for everybody who's watching right now. It's very difficult. And there is already a Kunal Kapra ne apne chutto chhodelo che, so he's doing that job. Uh, he's already taking one for the team. So let him do that. वो forte उसने बिछा हुआ है, उसने taken care किया हुआ. But I would like to talk about something very interesting. I would like to talk about something which is very close to my heart, and that's my mother. My mother is one of the best people in this entire world. How I get my sense of humor is because of my mother. My mother explained to me that how she took care of a 92-year-old. So imagine a 73-year-old babysitting a 92-year-old Maji. Just picture that in your head, how interesting that would be. And my mother taking that 93-year-old woman to the toilet. Just imagine how difficult. What happened, my mom was telling me, Manan, तुम्हें पता है, वो मेरे घर पे आई, बाद में she was like, मुझे बाथरूम जाना है. मैं उसको बाथरूम लेके गई, बाथरूम में जाके बोलती है, मैंने डायपर पहनी हुई है. अरे तो बाहर ही कर लेना था ना, अंदर क्यों बुलाया बहन जी? My mom saying this, 73-year-old. But you know what's the best part? My mom really does not know how to use WhatsApp. My mom, recently what happened, we have a family group. और मेरी मम्मी को ना कुछ भी वो फॉरवर्ड कर देती है. उसको जो भी आते हैं ना, देखे बिना वो सुबह सुबह फॉरवर्ड कर देती है. हर पास टाइम फेवरेट पास टाइम इज व्हाट्सएप फॉरवर्ड. कुछ भी आता है फॉरवर्ड आगे भेज देता है. तो एक्सीडेंटली किसी ने मम्मी को भेजा था क्लिप, और एक्सीडेंटली वो क्लिप मेरी मम्मी ने आगे भेज दिया मेरे फैमिली व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में. मैंने वो क्लिप खोला, इट वाज अ वेरी डबल मीनिंग पोर्नोग्राफिक काइंड ऑफ अ क्लिप. So finally I got that chance सालों के बाद to tell मम्मी the same thing she has been telling me. मैंने मम्मी को फोन किया, मम्मी तुम्हारी इज्जत नहीं है मार्केट में, मेरी है, ऐसा सब क्यों करते हो?
Awesome.
मेरा तो नाक मत कटाओ जिंदगी में, तुम क्या कर रहे हो? बस अभी आज से तुम्हारा फोन पे रहना बंद. और मैंने मम्मी से फोन ले लिया. वो 12 साल पुराना रिवेंज मैंने ले लिया मम्मी से. Revenge to take away phone from my hands. I took away phone from her hands. But you know, that's my mom. My mom has been the most interesting person in my life. Um, she hoards a lot. Okay, और उसका favorite pastime besides WhatsApp forward is hoarding. You know how typical my mom is. Whenever we go to the most high-end restaurant in the country, in Vadodara, पेशावरी है. You know, Welcome Group में Welcome Hotel के नीचे पेशावरी restaurant है. My mom, वो food bill हुआ है 3 लोगों का 6,000 रुपए का. But my mom comes out of the restaurant, picks up a tissue paper और उसमें पूरा सौंफ भर देती है और उसका पैकेट बना के घर पे ले जाती है. That's every Gujarati mom ever. मेरी घर पे एक पूरा जार है जिसमें there is mixture of song from all over the world. Like उसमें पेशावरी का सौंफ है, उसमें मिर्च मसाला का सौंफ है, उसमें वो पीपर मीट भी है, जीरा गोड़ी पण છે એમાં. I was like, Mom, what is this? And my mom is like, वो उसका उसमें मिक्स हो गया था बेटा, तुम खाओ ना, please. And I don't understand the obsession of every Gujarati mother to collect plastic bags. Like, no matter how rich you are, there is an obsession. I personally feel until हमें कोकिला बेन का भी एक पर्सनल रूम होगा जिसमें प्लास्टिक बैग होगा. आपके घर का इंटीरियर 1.5 करोड़ का होगा. आपके 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 घर का इंटीरियर 1.5 करोड़ का होगा, फिर भी आपके स्टोर रूम में एक कोना ऐसा होगा जहां पे दुनिया भर की प्लास्टिक की बैग्स होगी. ये तो गुजरात में से, महाराष्ट्र में से प्लास्टिक बैग्स गई है ना, वो गवर्नमेंट बैन से नहीं गई है, वो मॉम से गई है, मम्मियों से गई है. My mother is so sweet. In the middle of Times Square, there is an M&M factory outlet in New York. मेरी मम्मी M&M स्टोर में जाती है, वहां पे एक विलायती लड़की है जो उनको पूरा पैकेट देती है, थैली, वो बेसिकली इट वाज अ पेपर बैग, तो पेपर बैग पूरी देती है. मेरी मम्मी वो M&M स्टोर इन द मिडल ऑफ टाइम स्क्वायर, उधर भी मेरी मम्मी, वन मोर बैग प्लीज. I don't understand this obsession of bags and moms. It is ridiculous why it happens. But that's my mom. That's my mother. She's really bizarre. She's really weird. And I get a lot of humor from her. My mom nowadays, her favorite thing is she tells me how death, after you reach a certain age, death becomes very normal for you. She comes up to me and gives me a story about somebody dying very casually. She comes up to me and she tells me કે અરે મને પેલું માર્કેટમાંથી દૂધ લાવવાનું હતું, એ તો તું લેતો જા, શક્તિ લાવજે, ગોળ ના લાવીશ. પણ હા, પેલા જે બાજુવાળા રસીલા માસી હતા ને, એમના દીકરા ગુજરી ગયા, એલેમાં એમનો એક્સિડન્ટ થયેલો, તો એમને ફોન કરવાનો છે, પછી મને ફોન જોડી આપજે. હા, that's it. It's a very casual conversation. The first thing my mom does every morning is open up the newspaper and see the Besanu page. कि कौन आज चल बसा है. That's the favorite thing. And she, what happens is that there is a random uncle on the Besana page, like जिसका चेहरा होता है, and she tells me, तो आप पेला रमेश काका जेवा नहीं लगता, ये तो नहीं ने रमेश भाई. Why do you want Ramesh bhai to? No, my mom is very innocent. She's extremely innocent. I personally feel like whenever I take her to big hotels, so as a comedian I travel a lot, and whenever I travel a lot, I usually take my mom for certain shows. जैसे मेरा न्यूयॉर्क में शो था, so that's the first time I took mom to New York and New Jersey in the year 2015. And whenever we go to hotels, my mom has this obsession. I personally feel that मैं इतना कमाता हूँ आज की तारीख में, but mom never accepts first-hand gifts from me. એને કોઈએ બીજાએ પહેરેલું હોય ને કે વાપરેલું હોય ને, એમાં વધારે મજા આવે. ફ્રીની વસ્તુમાં મજા અલગ છે. मेरे घर पे भी जो 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 शुगर है ना, मेरी मम्मी ने एक सेपरेट जार रखा है. जो हम होटल्स में जाते हैं वहां से वो मवाना की होती है ना शुगर, टी शैसेस एंड कॉफी शैसेस, वो मेरे घर पे है. मेरे पास इतनी बड़ी गाड़ी है, मेरे पास इतनी बड़ी ऑफिस है, घर है, गाड़ी है, बंगला है. तुम्हारे पास क्या है मम्मी? मेरी मम्मी बोलती है मेरे पास खांड है. મારા પાસે ખાંડ છે જે મેં લીધેલી છે from different hotels of the entire world. And that's what it is about Gujarati moms. We come from I think that's the beauty about Gujaratis, that we come from, we have struggled a lot. I think all communities का struggle अपने हिसाब से बराबर है, but our struggle has been completely different. There are so many rags to riches story in our community, in Gujarati community, and it's incredible. That's why I love the Gujarati mindset. Okay, we know Gujaratis are the definition of hustle. You know, and my mom has hustled a lot. Though we have come to a point wherein I can have a maid. I have a maid for my mother to help her out and everything. But my mom still wants to do certain things by herself. And my mom is so blunt at times. When I kept that maid for her, she's like, "આ શું મારી પાછળ આવ્યા કરે છે? હવે મારી ધોવાવશે અંદર અને બારે." That's my mom. That's my mom. That's what my mom is really innocent, guys. Like my when I told my mom that one of my cousin brothers who came out of the closet, do no cousin brother, he lives in London. And when he came out of the closet and he told everybody that I am gay, and I told mom, okay, you know what, પેલા જે ભાઈ છે એમનો દીકરો જે છે એ ગે છે. My mom is like, "ના, એ બધું ગુજરાતીઓમાં ના હોય. That's that's not possible. આપણે કોઈ સારા બાવાને દેખાડીશું બધું ઠીક થઈ જશે." So that tells a lot about my innocent 73-year-old mother. But I love her. That's the whole point. Whenever પહેલા કેવું હતું કે when I used to crack jokes about my dead father or my dead Masi on stage, my mother used to say that, "મનન આવું બધું કરાય? શું મેં તને આ સંસ્કાર આપ્યા છે? Is this what you do? This is what the upbringing I've done for you? શરમ આવે છે તને આ સંસ્કાર આપ્યા છે?" I was like, "Mom, થોડા બહુ સંસ્કાર પપ્પાથી પણ આવે."
Crazy man, crazy.
But now when she sees that, okay, now Manan is well settled, उसकी बीवी है, वो अच्छे से घर चला रहा है, ऑफिस चला रहा है, she's like, હું તને બે જોક આપું છું, બોલ બોલ હજુ બોલ, કમાલ, હવે હવે કમાય, કોઈ વાંધો નથી. That's how supportive my mom has been. So yeah, guys, that's about it from my side. You have been a wonderful audience and wonderful. You have been great listeners. Though this is not a format for me to perform because I've performed a couple of times online, but this is a very different format altogether because स्टेज पे इंटरनेट कनेक्टिविटी का इश्यू नहीं होता, डेफर्ड लाइव नहीं होता है, तुरंत सुनाई देता है लाफ, कब बोलना है कब चुप रहना है वो पता चलता है. यहाँ पे थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट है. सो आई एम स्टिल गेटिंग द नैक of the timing in this particular format. Timing is not on spot. So there might be few jokes which have not worked because of timing today. But yeah, don't judge me from today's performance is all I want to say.
You've been wonderful, sir. You've been wonderful. And it was amazing having you here. Thank you. It is amazing to have our Vadodara's own, to have and spend so much time with us. And before we wrap up, I'd like to request your neighbor, Manish Bhai. Manish Parekh is apparently your neighbor. You have offices nearby. To please, bring the session to an end. Manish, sir.
Oh, I didn't know that. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that, Manan. You are my neighbor. I'm maybe I can.
I'm the same that you are. તમે કશું કહો તે પહેલા આપણે ઓફિસ નંબર અત્યારે ડિસ્કસ નહીં કરીએ કારણ કે બાકી બધા જોઈ રહ્યા છે. એટલે you can take my number and then message me privately. Then we can meet up right now.
Sure. Yeah, thanks. But Manan, it's been really wonderful having you here talking about your journey and the evolution of comedy, which is really interesting to know about because that's something people don't talk about, don't get to know otherwise because people see people on stage and that's the only part they notice. But it's been great having you here and we've really enjoyed all of us who are here. And the last few minutes that you cracked jokes has really got us in splits. I really hope your mom doesn't mind the sort of jokes that you make up on her.
No. As I said, कि मम्मी को जब पता चला कि I earn money by making jokes about her, she's now giving me jokes सामने से. And you can do more jokes.
And I hope she's not charging you royalty on that, actually.
Yeah, of course. See, if I had to give royalty for the jokes that I do about my wife and about my mother, I would be bankrupt. So
No, but it's been really great, Frank, and we at IIM Alumni Association are really happy and proud to have you as a Barodian on this stage, and we look
thank
forward to having you with us many more times in the future. Thank you so much, and thanks everyone, the audience, for being with us.
thank you,
That's
thank you
it.
everybody. Good night, take care, and please wear mask.
Oh yeah.
Mask
Absolutely.
बहुत जरूरी है, guys. Please
Yes.
take care of yourself.
Right,
Certainly, yes.
Please, Instagram कर जो Bhavik sir. If you are here, you can also Instagram me. It was really wonderful talking. Thank you so much to Elvis and thank you Deep and everybody from the audience right now. And thank you so very much, everybody.
Bye, sir. Bye-bye. Bye, sir.
Bye.
Bye.